Now just think about this. You just turned 18 years old in the middle of your senior year of high school, and you are now legally an adult. You can now enlist in the military and can kill people of foreign countries with deadly weapons, or you can be tried as an adult in the court of law. Your parents can now legally kick you out of your house, and you must fend for yourself in the real world. These are just three extreme examples of the different actions you can take for yourself. But with that said, you cannot buy a case of beer from the liquor store. Really think to yourself about it. You could make many drastic life changes, but society does not trust you to purchase alcohol. Today I plan to challenge this issue. I am here to fight why the legal drinking age in the United States should be 18 rather than 21. I am not here to say that drinking can be harmless, because it can be when in the wrong hands. All I am here to argue is to make it make sense, because currently the system being used is awfully inconsistent. Currently this law encourages the all too common issue of underage drinking. This issue defies adults of their rights, and now it is time to fix it. Let me ask you all a question. Who here knows somebody that's participated in underage drinking? If you said no, you're most likely lying, and that's okay. The main law of being 21 and older to drink is broken every single day of the week. It absolutely pushes teenagers into unsupervised and risky environments. We all know how common it is to find our youth drinking in basements, dorm rooms, or even their cars. They will continue to always participate this way, and the problem is a lack of supervision. This creates a huge risk, and no one can intervene when something eventually goes wrong. One source I found stated that young adults aged 18 to 20, 36% reported drinking each month, and 23% reported binge drinking. This quote can clearly back up the issue how often underage drinking is participated in. Lowering the legal age will not make all of our problems go away, but it may create a safer and more accepted environment where intervention can be used properly. Whatever happens or does not happen, we all know that nothing will fix the issue of underage drinking, but promoting the proper use at a lower age of 18 might even save lives. It is clear this law only forces our young adults into a risky and underground environment. If we were to reduce the legal drinking age to 18, we can reduce the harm instead of acting like the law does not exist. Next up, fairness. How can we trust an 18-year-old with a firearm or to survive on their own but cannot take a sip of alcohol? We can trust a new adult to vote in an election or take out a loan. An 18-year-old can now get married and be fully responsible for any crimes committed when in a court of law. All I'm saying here is that the new adult can participate in any of these examples determined by society, but one sip of alcohol crosses the line. This opens a wonderful opportunity to educate our adults on the potential dangers of alcohol, which will help mitigate the common issues. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration states, every day about 34 people in the United States die of drunk driving. That is one person every 42 minutes. These deaths were all preventable. I can confidently say with the proper education that we can lower these numbers. This truly presents the issue of the unfairness and inconsistency in our basic adulting laws. If we do truly trust adults with these different options, how can we also say they are not allowed to have any alcohol? When it comes to the creation of the law being 21 to drink, we must go back to 1984. The National Minimum Drinking Age Act of 1984 was passed. Its goal was to try and save lives and prevent alcohol-related injuries. Now, it is true that this law has prevented countless injuries, but there is definitely an argument that lowering it might improve it even more. The CDC states, before the national law was in place, states that raised their MLDA to 21 years had a 16% drop in motor vehicle crashes. This fully backs up the idea that the minimum drinking age should be required. These are some serious issues and should never be ignored, but the truth is clear. Making it illegal for an 18 to 20-year-old adult will not stop them from acquiring it and using it. Instead of learning about this issue and looking for a solution, we slapped a criminal issue on it and called it a day. This solves nothing and stops no one. What if instead of just banning alcohol for our age group, we promote it in a healthier and more limited way? This way, our youth will know how to use it responsibly, and in turn could change the issue of the future users of alcohol. It is not always about ignoring public health issues, but rather addressing them and finding a better solution. Now, I'd like to rewind a few years and talk about the way my mother told me that children in France could be served wine at an age such as 14. My mother's job revolves around Paris, and she's been there many times. As a young teenager, that information blew me away. To think that a 14-year-old drinking in the States is almost unheard of, but I'm sure it happens somewhere is legally wrong. The United States has one of the highest legal drinking ages in the world, and somehow we face so many difficult issues because of it. In many of the different countries with a lower legal drinking age limit, they face many less issues than we do. How is that so? Well, to start, alcohol is culturally different in these foreign countries, as the education revolving around it is much different. Alcohol is introduced at a younger age within a family environment. On the other side, teenagers in the United States see it as a party thrill substance that they need to hide from their families. By properly teaching our youth about alcohol, I can confidently acknowledge that injuries and death numbers will go down. Lowering our drinking age because of other countries is not a guess of what benefits will come, but rather a globally effective way of being smarter and safer with our youth. Now, when we talk about the minimum drinking age, we focus on problems like accidents, addictions, and fatal consequences. Right now, we need to focus on the hidden costs of keeping the drinking age at 21. This law prevents freedom for adults and produces the wrong outcomes. A paper I found stated that a 3 or 4% increase in high school dropouts, if it were to occur today, would mean 99,000 dropouts. She also adds that lowering the drinking age could especially impact the dropout rate among minority students, who already face a greater socioeconomic obstacles of graduating. Now, this statement might seem like it debunks the entire idea of lowering the legal limit, but it does not show the full story. This exponentially highlights the lack that education, support, and resources combined with early alcohol use creates issues. The problem is not age, but rather the environment. By keeping the age limit high, we foster and promote minors to enter situations without guidance or protection. We need a new policy that empowers our youth and acknowledges the risk of misuse. If we are really trying to address the issue of underage drinking properly, we need a better solution other than prohibition. If we lowered the age limit, we must follow through with the correct steps towards a path of success. We must properly educate and give our youth the proper guide to drinking responsibly with consequences if used incorrectly. Jenna Robinson stated that most young adults will drink before they reach the age of 21, regardless of legal limitations. Therefore, the objective should be to encourage them to do it responsibly. Therefore, the objective should be to encourage them to do, not just when they're in college, but for the rest of their lives. She's accurate with this statement, and it supports the fact that we need to guide our youth in the right direction. It could change generations to come. We can promote different courses in the same manner we have a driving course to learn to drive. These barriers could help improve how we think and use alcohol. This truly is not about promoting alcohol use, but rather having a better understanding of it and treating our young adults with the respect they deserve. Let me be noticeably clear. Lowering the legal drinking age does not encourage poor behavior. It means to trust adults with the rights they deserve and to stop idolizing the culture of underage drinking. This can help educate our youth, respect alcohol, and know the regulations. The age of 18 is legally and generally the age that society sets you loose, so why are you held back when it comes to alcohol? You are ready to serve, ready to vote, ready to be a responsible adult who contributes to society. Our country treats alcohol as if it's too dangerous to handle while under 21 years old, while statistically we know much younger people consume it. All the age limit creates is a culture of underage drinking, which allows it to be seen as a much more dangerous activity. It disallows our youth to understand how to use it properly, since it makes people hide it from their parents. It is time to push this issue to the open where we can teach and guide our new adults into the use of this beverage. If we want a safer society, we need more consistent laws. It is that simple. The answer is clear. The drinking age needs to be 18. Thank you.